Yeah, and we are back with the Bakersfield Underground, the bug. And you just heard one of the bands, lion's name Leo, from our broski over here, T. Stevens and stuff. What's going on, broski?
Hey, man, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
God damn, that song is dope as fuck, man. It gets me excited, it gets me pumped up. I've been listening to all your music for the past month. There is so much music out there,
Yeah.
T. And you got different bands and stuff. You
Yeah.
got all kinds of music.
Yes.
I'm really digging. I'm really digging everything that you have.
Thank
so,
you.
Can you let everybody know where we can find you at a social media? Plug the YouTube channel.
Sure.
Go for it, man.
That song right there, actually, it's funny that you picked that because it was just kind of a rough demo.
Yeah, yeah.
The singer, Joe Barry, actually, rest in peace, he passed on.
R.I.P., man.
And it's a fun song, but I just, out of everything you picked out, I was like, party tonight? Really? But I don't know who that lead guitar player is, but he's sexy and hot. I don't know. Oh, wait, I did that, right?
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
No, best thing, probably now, I have Instagram, TikTok, X, but my main Facebook right now, which I check most, is TEE and then Tafkatlas, which is abbreviation for the artist formerly known as the letter after S, which is kind of a funny story, but it's just TAFKATLAS, Tafkatlas. And then email I still use, which is the most solid, can't get hacked.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
It's safer, yeah.
Safe. It's just, I don't know, people get back to that. And it's real simple. T, the trace. Long story, but TEETHETRACE. And just make sure if you write me about anything, just make sure it's all capital letters in the subject. Because I get, all, we get gobs of email. But
bunch of stuff,
attention to you or, something like that. Hey, about the podcast or what's that, whatever. Yeah, and I check it pretty much every day. So
hell yeah. That's
the
what's up
best
right
way.
there. Hell yeah. So T, you got a lot of music out there. You play for several bands and stuff.
Yes.
You started fairly young. You were about in eighth grade, right?
Yep.
When you first picked up what was the guitar?
Actually, I was in Leggett, California when I first picked up the first instrument. My dad knew I had it. He just knew because I humming and singing and whatever. But you got me trumpet lessons.
Trumpet.
Yeah,
right.
like fourth grade. I want to say fourth. I was in Leggett, fourth, fifth, sixth grade. So fourth, fifth grade. And I had a teacher that would come. It's a small town, like less than 200 people.
Yeah, yeah.
The school was kindergarten through 12th in one school. That's how small it was.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, graduating class every year was like 4 people.
They packed everybody in there then. Oh,
we all knew each other. You know what I mean? So.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was a very small town. So, got pretty good right where I could get, if anybody plays trumpet or when you got to get over the blisters. You start, it's just tough.
Yeah.
I just got where I got my scales and I really liked it, and he moved away, the teacher.
Oh, man. All right.
So I was like, oh, man. But we lived in this little house by a church. My dad was the principal of the school, by the way.
Oh, wow. How convenient.
So I went home, Dad was there. I went to school, Dad was there.
And you got your ass beat on both, huh?
Oh, yeah. I couldn't get away with much right there.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, a lot of great memories there. Beautiful.
That's
you ever
awesome.
go north? It's a little town up north called Leggett, Leggett. Some people heard it. What it's famous for is the chandelier drive-through tree.
Drive-through tree, okay.
It's an actual redwood that's like, 4 million years old or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Not that
yeah.
old, but it's been there forever. It's super tall above all the other trees. And you can drive your car through the bottom
Through
of
it, okay.
Yeah, it's chandelier
That's
drive.
dope.
You can Google it. So that's what it was famous
Known, all right.
And so I got piano lessons. The lady would come, and there was a church right there in our little area, still there. I think it's
Nice.
they turned a church into a grow room last time I heard.
Oh,
Hey,
That's funny.
we go there and worship now. We got God's plant there.
There you
We still worship. A little bit happier now. So I took piano lessons. I got pretty good, left hand, right hand. And I always tell my younger students now that if you can, take piano.
Yeah, start off
because
with
it's it teaches you the treble and the bass,
Yeah.
the coordination.
Yep.
And it really got me well grounded. And I did a couple recitals, I got good enough to do that. And then we moved to Taft, which was a complete culture shock.
It's different over there.
Yeah.
It still is.
Different is that's a slight word for it. I remember driving down in the valley coming in, Dad, why does it stink here? That's because if you ever go up north and the beach is just you smell that air and then you come back to the valley and it's like whoa, because we got all the freaking cows farting and all the oil and
it's a mixture of all types of shit.
Yeah, all types of shit. That's so
that's funny, man.
So then, of course, I lost my piano teacher, but we lived on Front Street in Taft. There's a big field, and one day I was walking through, and there's a guy sitting there playing acoustic guitar.
Oh, nice.
And you got to realize, I had never seen a human being in real life playing an instrument.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I come from, we moved over from Naples, Italy.
All right.
And all I knew about music was the big Grundig studio my dad had. It was big, large, old wood, with the radio, like 4 feet long with these knobs.
Hell yeah.
Old school.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, reel to reel on one end, record player, and then the big radio, and that warm sound. Nothing like the German Grundig.
Yeah, there you
and
go.
Stacks of records. But it was all Bach and Beethoven and Brahms. That's all my dad.
Like classical.
That's all I knew. That's what I thought music was.
Okay,
literally.
Big difference. Big difference for what you're seeing now.
Yeah, like culturally, that's music is that stuff.
Yeah.
So I didn't know anything going on in America, whatever. So we got over here, and again, I'd never seen physically a human play in person. So I just sat in front of this guy, like, how's he making that sound? And just watching his fingers and. He was, I don't really, I remember his name was Bolivar, Victor Bolivar, something, and he probably wasn't doing anything like shredding or anything, but it was just the fact that he was making that. I ran home, Dad, I want a guitar,
Yeah, like you were fascinated by
completely
all this new instrument, what it sounds like, what it looks like.
Yeah, and seeing someone actually play, and my dad's like, I'll get you a little, cheap one to see if you,
if you don't break it and shit.
Yeah. And it was a nylon, just a nylon little beater, and I practiced every day. My parents never told me. I just was enthralled. 2 hours a day at least, and I took it in school, and I just couldn't get enough. And within a year, I was in a band writing songs.
Just like that.
Yeah, I had that.
You had that gift, man.
My dad said, you got that. You're going to view life. And everything, you're going to put it into music.
That is awesome.
And it's just, I've been doing it ever since 8th. Well, I just retired about 3-4 years ago. Got stepped back because I'd done it all that time.
That's awesome, though.
And then I remember we were in Apple Valley right before Leggett. And like the culture shock thing, my older brother, the first American music I had ever heard was, again, I hadn't seen anybody play, but I don't know if you guys remember Creedence Clearwater Revival. CCR, classic rock.
I want to know,
Down on, out on the street.
Oh, yeah.
He smoked good herb. Heard it through the grapevine.
Hell yeah. Hey, he had that powerful voice, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So I remember the first time he put it on the stereo, and I just staring at the stereo. What is that?
Completely different sound.
Yeah, you got to remember where the mindset is. I had never heard any of the violins and
It's a different style, yeah.
Completely. And so I'm like, what is this thing and the vocals? And so then I got, went through high school.
Fucking dope.
Yeah, went through high school.
Now, did you listen to the first album?
I don't know.
You don't know which one it was?
Yeah, I just remember staring at the studio. My brother had, my older brother had a GTO and an Etzel, and he was all cool, and he had the, all the that 70s music. It was like early 70s, whatever. So
all right.
Got into that. Then we moved to Leggett. And then my brothers and sisters got into like Jim Croce, which is another old school. Time in a Bottle. If I could save time in a bottle, all that. So Bread. Elton John was just coming out, with Rocket Man, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Olivia Newton-John. America. And then I
All
was,
good artists.
yeah,
all different kinds of genres
yeah,
too.
and I was just hooked. I was like, and then the guitar thing came, and then what 73, 4, 5, I got into like the mainstream like rock. I remember the first time I saw the makeup band, the Kiss guys. I was at a friend's. And,
that was different.
Yeah, I walked in and they had this big. It was 76, I think, and they had the bicentennial. They did the kind of the red, white, and blue get up and whatever. I see these freaks in makeup. Like, what is that? Like, all right. And then I listen to their music. Ooh, they were, and then Kiss, of course, is Kiss.
Yeah, little did you know what was gonna be. Yeah,
I was like, wow. And then of course all the other, that Queen and Van Halen's first. I remember hearing the first Eruption. The first time I heard Eddie play that, that infamous solo.
Hell yeah.
And I got to learn that, and I did. And,
nice.
And
those weren't easy to play, too.
No,
they weren't easy.
Yeah, all my mentors were really,
except for
guys.
Kiss. Kiss was more easy.
They were. When I first started, I thought Ace was like the best, coolest guitar player in the world, and then I heard all these other great players.
Oh, yeah.
Like my
basics.
mentors now are like Steve Vai, who's a master wizard. Most guitar players would know him. Joe Satriani, of course, and Randy Rhoads, the late great Randy Rhoads. So you get to know those guys, and then you look back at Ace and go, I don't know. He was, but God bless Ace. He's
still good.
I just saw a video. He's still gigging.
Yeah.
He's still got
stop.
He's got his Ace Frehley solo band.
Yeah.
Doing the classics. He got a brand new band around him. Gene Simmons has got his own solo, which is, people, whatever you think about them, I got to tip my hat. They're 70 something.
Yeah, and they're still doing it. You know what I mean?
Still doing it,
which is dope. If you go to one of their live events, it's like, hey, that live album.
Yeah.
The Kiss Alive.
Kiss Alive.
Oh, gosh,
Kiss Alive
man.
2, yeah.
Yeah, those were pretty dope. They
Yeah.
did a lot of, to make it sound better, but it was still really good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell
and then they went through all their changes, and I watched them. I was always I was a big fan at first. We used to paint her face and everything, as kids. And then I watched them go through all their changes. When I think Peter left first. Then they got Eric, and different guitar players. Without the makeup, and then with the makeup and
came back and stuff. Yeah.
But and then Van Halen, watched them go through all their changes. Sammy Hagar is still out there.
Yeah, he's out there.
Yeah, doing stuff. So.
All great, like I said, great bands.
Oh yeah, just great stuff. And I grew up all with that. So and then I went to Cal State. And my major was music, so I got into music appreciation, which anybody that's a real music fan should take a music appreciation,
Definitely.
in my opinion, because it really makes you, well, in the words, appreciate, because music is spirit in form. So I like all kinds of music. Like it just really opened my mind to, there's this jazz stuff and there's this weird artsy stuff and like, did you know the first music ever written down by man? You know what it is?
What is it?
Gregorian chant. That's the first time humans, as far as what I studied, took a pen and wrote, so they could give it to someone else to
some kind of note.
Yeah, and it was just like and then they.
But it was a sound,
and they'd have harmonies, and then it went into like. All the different era. There was the Baroque era and the classical era and the Renaissance era. Yeah. And you learn about that and you see it progress.
Like really break it down.
Yeah. And then, of course, America and you had the big band in the 20s and the 30s and all that. And then rock and roll.
Swing and all. Okay, rock and roll.
Swing, what is this rock and roll and the deep blues? And that's where all the guitar players now, that were my mentors, got all their, the early dudes.
Hell yeah!
Like B.B. King, and even before that.
Oh yeah.
Just the soul and that all grew, and it's still evolving.
Hell yeah.
A lot of people, music's not the same. It's like the '70s were the best. Well, it depends on when you were born.
It changes. Just like anything, it does change.
If you're born, in 2000, you like Rez and Muse, and most people.
Yeah.
Who are those guys?
Yeah.
They're great. You ever listen to Muse?
Yeah.
I didn't even know about them until 5-10 years ago. I think my singer come in and goes, "Hey, we should cover this Muse." I go, "Who's Muse?"
Yeah, you got to study up on it.
Three-piece band. All of them are, I think, I want to say Berkeley master graduates. All three of them.
Yeah, who would have known too, huh?
Yeah, and we covered. Am I on camera?
Yeah. T, you've been on camera for like half an hour already.
Damn.
You're good though. You still look cool, man.
I look cool with the glasses.
With and without it, man.
With
You're
or
good.
without.
You're
All
good,
right.
yeah.
All right.
But yeah, all these dope ass bands, you know, music they changed, especially during the '90s and stuff.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really started to change. There was a
Yeah.
lot more variety out there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that I love all the bands that you mentioned and stuff. You know what I mean? Led Zeppelin. Are you a Led Zeppelin?
Oh yeah.
fan? Oh fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean,
and
Jimmy,
they're gonna start touring again. You know?
Are they really?
Yeah, they
Oh
just
my
announced
God.
it. Oh, I would like to see that. Jimmy Page up there,
Wow.
man. Those are songs that are like, man, they're classics.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I thought Robert Plant was done.
No, they just announced that they're gonna have a final tour or something.
Wow.
Like that, you know?
Do you know who's gonna be on guitar? And
Jimmy.
I mean drums and bass.
No, I'm not sure
Not
just
sure.
yet.
My
yeah,
friend-
but there is a flyer out there where they
Oh.
do. Yeah.
My friend, one of the bands I recorded, the Aviators, the singer August Young, Baco people probably know him. He's on tour. I think it's called Zeppelin again or Zepp again or something. But he does Robert Plant in the band. He's got the long,
Yeah, curly hair.
amazing guy, great guy, and phenomenal voice. Just
You have to if you're gonna if you're gonna sing like him. Hell
No,
yeah, you gotta
look-
have that voice.
You look him up, and it looks like Zeppelin from the '70s. The guy, the guitar player,
Nice,
dresses
nice.
like him, and
yeah, it moves around like him and stuff.
tribute bands can. I mean, I
They're
tell
good?
you get a good tribute band, you sound like that
Yeah.
or whatever. You can make a living.
Oh hell yeah,
I mean,
I've
a good
seen
living. Just
I've seen
touring around.
some Fleetwood Mac
Oh,
tribute
yeah.
bands. They sound just like them.
yep.
Kiss.
Kiss
There's
bands.
another one. It's
Yep.
like, damn, this is dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see Van Halen.
Hell yeah.
Actually, one of my bands, the international supergroup Crotch, was a parody band I did.
Crotch.
Yeah, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But 2006, I was really into Tenacious D. I don't know if a lot of you guys might know him.
Oh yeah, I know who they are.
Yeah,
Pete
Jack
Jack.
Black and the Kyle guy. And
Yeah.
Anyway, and Spinal Tap is a.
Oh hell yeah.
If you're into classic rock stuff, you got to watch Spinal Tap. It's a cult.
Yeah, hell
And
yeah.
so I came up with this whole Crotch band. It was like parody fun, and we did all that stuff. And
That movie's hilarious.
Yeah.
Dude.
yeah. So I love that stuff too, parody rock.
But yeah, at what point did you start writing your own music? At what point
Oh,
were you like?
back when I was talking about when I saw the guy play the acoustic.
So right away, okay.
Yeah,
So what does
I-
the young T write about at that? Because you were young.
I mean, I don't remember much. I just remember we were learning, like we'd learn some covers of the day, whatever the big songs were.
Yeah, during
way
that
back.
time and stuff. Yeah.
But I would always have riffs, like riffs would just come to me, which that's part of
That's how it starts.
the
Yeah.
thing, and then
Yeah.
I just write whatever I think I had a song called Soul Survivor. I had a song called like Party Time or something kind of like party that song but different.
that
It
kind of
was
vibe and stuff. yeah.
Vibe, yeah. And, we were just I was a kid and my mom was a trained opera singer and I'm
Oh,
in there
nice.
just screaming my head off and mom's like, son, you might want to take some vocal lessons. Yeah.
You're just screaming out
I'm
there,
just
screaming
screaming.
your
I
lungs
didn't know.
out. Yeah, yeah.
And which I did. I got into the
That's cool.
one of the best teachers probably in the world at the music school of Juilliard.
Nice.
Robert Gantone. He has a book out called The Gantone Method. Robert Ganser, I think, yeah. Still to this day. So I took vocals, went from about 2-octave voice to about 4.5 octave, and then piano ear training at Cal State. Lot of practice on the guitar. Took lessons from Mary Osborne, one of the greatest woman jazz guitarists.
Nice.
Old school cat, William, what was his name? William Petty. Used to have a Pete Jones music downtown. Waylon Petty.
All right.
And this old guy, and he did the finger picking, and I'm in there just shredding what I know, and then he starts playing. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
man.
Once you're finger picking, that's a whole other
I
situation.
gotta start all over, bro. Like what the hell,
Hell yeah.
But that's what you get in front of a master, and it humbles you, like
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just in learning mode. And he taught me. Yeah.
Once you see that finger picking live, it's like, whoa, it's a whole other thing, huh?
It's just a different approach.
Yeah,
completely different approach.
Yeah.
He can play the bass chords and the melody at the same time. So you have the bass going and then pick. You just have to see it and hear it to go, whoa.
You can appreciate that.
Yeah, so
that's fucking hella cool.
And then, of course, Mary was this shredding jazz guitarist, showing me all these augmented ninth chords. I'm like, what? Like somebody with cerebral palsy on a guitar, but it all made sense. You know, it's like,
hey, they were getting down right there, though.
Yeah,
I had
my little brother had cerebral palsy, so if I ever got stuck, Todd, what is this chord? No, I'm kidding. We got fun with my little brother, but nobody else could make fun of him. We could.
Yeah, only you. Only part of the family and shit.
Yes.
At what point did you start recording?
Oh, wow. Let's see, 7th, 8th grade. So I got my first little 4-track.
Oh, nice.
A little Tascam 4-track, probably 2-3 years into it. I had a couple studios around Taft, this little building next to a church my friend let us use. And then we had a little basement somewhere out in Fellows. I can't remember, but, we just had a couple mics in the room. It wasn't like, modern at all, but,
Whatever got you by at that moment.
Yeah, we made demos and we could listen to it. And, it was kind of, in fact, the stuff we're working on now with Traxtor, one of my first signed band, we just had a meeting and we're doing some old demos we never released.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and the demos the guitar player had, all these years, 30 years later, were that kind of setup. We were in the studio on 21st Street, and we just had a couple mics around the room. So they put it in the computer. They made stems of it.
Yeah.
Where you could separate and
break them down. Yeah.
Pull stuff out. So we had to study that, and we're recreating it in the modern studio from that.
It's a little bit of a process.
Oh,
but it's good though. It's cool though.
Yeah, the drummer, Darren Kirkendall, was we were in Traxtor together, and we broke up in '92, and me and him went on later to be in the Smoking Armadillos. Anybody from Bakersfield would know them. They're a big country band from here.
Yeah.
They had about a 13-year run. I was telling the door guy that we used to practice here. That's one of my memories from the Haberfield.
At the building, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was 3rd or 4th floor, and it was over that way somewhere. But
everything happens on the 3rd floor.
Maybe it was a double room.
Yeah.
It was like twice as big as this, but that's where we met.
That's cool.
So he went on to do that professionally. They had an album out and did all that touring stuff, and then he and Leonard both have access to a pro studio. So he took it and they put everything to a click track, and then they stemmed everything, and then he recorded the drums, and then the rhythm guitars are done, state of the art. So I'm working on my parts. The bass players hadn't played with a pick for 30 years, so he's and it's not easy music.
Yeah,
it was Traxtor. If you listen to that first album, it's pretty involved, kind of.
Yeah.
The critics said we were like progressive hair metal, I guess. That's what one critic called us.
Okay, one critic. Okay, I guess. Everybody hears music different.
Yeah.
Though, you know what I mean?
It's subjective.
At least he listened to it.
Yeah.
Hey, but the recording process is completely different then, huh? When you first started to now, it's completely changed.
Yeah. It's a whole monster. You can fly stuff in.
Yeah.
Collaborate with people all over the world and just
isn't that incredible?
Yeah, and just build and tracking everything. I mean, I had the shop studio on East 21st Union for 10-year run from 97 to 87 to 97, and then again from 2006 to another 10 years.
Nice.
And we did both. We'd have bands come in and want a track, and then other times we put an amp set up in one bathroom and then an amp over here in the corner, and then and have it on mic, and then they play live, and it was just what it was. But you had everything mic'd, so you could separate it.
Yeah.
So you get the kick, and you could work on it, and
gives you a little room to play and stuff.
Yeah. And now I had Logic Pro 8, so it was like,
what more do you want, dude?
Yeah, I could do sound replacement. You could literally
do a lot.
Play your drums on a cardboard box.
Yep.
With a kick and a tin can. They put a mic. All you need is that waveform.
Yep.
Right. So you're like boom boom ta boom boom ta. And then you go into sound replacement, and you go, okay, I want the kick from Metallica's second album.
Yeah. Track
on that wave.
Yeah.
So it goes from do that on a table to whatever you want.
Man, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's just crazy. And now
it's fun messing with all that too.
It is. And now they have like these amp what do they call modelers? So instead of having, a big old amp in your room and all these different, renting stuff, they have like Darren showed me on, I think he has Pro Tools 10 or something. But like any amp setup you want. You want a Marshall half stack with, a 212 or a 412 or a 2.8 or a Soldano or a Fender Twin, and you just plug directly into the thing, and
you're good, yeah.
There you go.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, tell me about the first time when you heard your first recording back.
Oh, wow.
That's got to be a feeling right there.
I never liked my voice. Yep.
It's funny, we get the same story all the time. Yeah. But what was it that you didn't like? Did you just think that it sounded different?
Yeah.
It wasn't what you thought in your head?
Right, and I didn't get comfortable with my voice until other people, I'd say, oh, man, because I was singing on that Party Tonight, but I was secondary vocal.
Yeah, on the demo, you sing it. Right? You sing it yourself.
Yes. Yeah,
on the one you heard right now in the intro.
Joe.
Yeah, that was Joe.
I just did the scratch, wrote it, and then we got together. Did the drums don't sound too bad, but the bass and guitar, I never liked.
Good, man.
It came out all right. I just don't. There's something about the tone and the key we were in, and I'd go back and change it. But like I said, that was kind of just a rush demo. Yeah, hey, got this other song. Let's just do it. And Sam came in. I had the click track. I'm like, just play it, and we done.
Hey, the demo sounds cool as fuck, though. I really do like your voice on there.
Yeah.
It sounds more like punk, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we did punkish kind of stuff, rock, ska. Heinz Name Leo was kind of a mixture of all the stuff I've had before we formed. We actually formed as a cover band first.
Nice.
Because I had come out of Radio Assault Orchestra and a couple other projects and just wanted to make some money on the weekends.
Yeah,
and I like to keep up on my chops.
Yeah.
I highly recommend young musicians get in a cover band, even if it's part-time. You really, you learn a lot about playing different styles and being, and running a business, because it's a business.
Yeah, pretty much.
You got to book the shows, and you got to, show up and make sure you got your parts down. One guy told me running a band is like herding cats.
Herding cats? How so?
Exactly. Because I did. The last band I ran was 10-piece, and it was like herding cats. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to keep a band together.
It's everybody's schedule and everybody's personalities and their drinking habits or whatever,
There's always something in there.
Always.
Yeah, and it's always the fucking drummer, man.
No. It
was different for you because all the ones I've seen is always the drummer, man.
No, I had some really rock solid drummers, but I did have some flake drummers. Yeah.
Now that you think about it,
it just depends.
But it just comes with it.
It does.
But once you guys start playing together and that music comes out, my goodness, what
it's
a feeling.
The magic. The live shows, especially with the 10-piece band, we did.
10-piece, I can't imagine that.
What I did is I had the rhythm section, drum, bass, rhythm guitar. Let's see, drum, bass, rhythm guitar, keyboard, and then me and the lead singer. And so I already had all the music written. The music was never the problem with my bands. It was the bands, the people.
Yeah. That was
so here's the stuff. Let's just learn it. Then I had a 4-piece horn section.
Wow.
That did the main horn lines and backup vocals.
Right.
And then the older dude was like, in his 55, 60. And he come in smelling, a little bit. And Richard, show up on time. Don't forget your backup parts.
Yep.
Because they were important in the song to have that extra. So he'd be playing, I'd see, I'd look over and we'd go through and he'd be like,
somewhere else. He's playing something else.
Go back. You got to sing right here. We didn't. We went over this like 4 times, man.
Yeah. Anytime now.
Yeah, but we did a couple really cool shows with that particular lineup.
That must sound great. It must have sounded great having all those people behind you and stuff. You know what I mean?
Those songs, like we did Big Stage, which is in the video, and you hear it. But imagine that with keyboards, another guitar, and a 4-piece horn section instead of Joe just doing.
It already does sound good. Yeah.
Imagine that with a sax and 4 horns, that fullness. And then just seeing it
That's
live,
crazy.
you
Yeah,
know. There's one video, a couple, I think if you put in Lion's Name Leo promo 2018, I believe it should come up. It was at the main stage of the fair. As you walk in, it was really the best place to play for us because you get everybody walking in, everybody walking out. It's
you're right in the middle of it all.
Yeah, and then the Bud Pavilion over there. I played the Bud Pavilion. It's cool. And then the big fairground where the rodeo stuff goes and all that. But we got a good slot like on Saturday night at like 9, which is
perfect.
Perfect.
Right there. Yeah,
not too
perfect
late,
time.
not too early.
Yep.
Got there, got a quick sound check, and it was with the 10-piece band, and man, we hit our first chord, dude, and that whole everybody around there, all that were sitting there drinking, and just stopped.
Hell yeah!
What are these guys? You know, and
What's going on over there?
90+% had never even heard of Lion's Name Leo.
Yeah.
But we just, dude, and within the second song, there's kids and 70-year-old men running through the crowd with their beers, just dancing and freaking.
Hell yeah! Having a great time.
Great
man.
time. Girls getting up on stage behind us, and I'm like just jamming, going, wow.
Wait for me, man.
Yeah. So though, those
cool.
moments,
Good times, man.
that made all the work.
Hell yeah.
And then we lost a couple horn players. I think we played again the next year, and then a bunch of other stuff happened in the studio, and I had to move. But anyway, yeah.
It happens,
It does.
Okay, so one of the things that you're a songwriter also.
Yeah.
So I like the advice that you're giving out there. Have you ever dealt with writer's block? And if you have, how did you get out of that funk? What's some advice on that?
With me, I just don't try to write.
Okay.
I tell people I've never written a song. I learned technically what I was doing on the guitar, finger exercise and all that. But I just have a thing where it just hits me.
Okay.
I'll be riding my bike, like just the other night, and I get this, whatever. And I'm like, what is, I grab my phone and, I'm still to this day. And I retired, like it just doesn't shut off.
It doesn't shut off.
Yeah, big stage.
That's awesome though. Yeah.
Big stage. The bass line is kind of the catch.
Yeah.
Over even the vocal, it's just down.
Oh, we're gonna hear that in a little bit. Yeah.
Do. It's 4 simple chords that have been used a billion times, but nobody went boom, boom, do.
Yeah, that one little one.
And put it all, and then that horn line over that. So I got that in my head one day, out of the blue, just boom. Like, what is that? Okay, and I always kept a little camera by me, so I record it, on the guitar, and I figure out what key, and I get to it later, whatever. And I'm busy. And next day goes by, I'm doing something completely non-musical. Guess what comes back into my head? Dun, dun, dun. I'm like, shit. All right.
And
So,
boy, man, it ended up being a great song.
yeah,
too.
and I put it off another day, and then finally one night, it just, okay. And I grab my guitar, and I go, okay, what is this? All right, what key is it in? We need a chorus. We need, and then I just kind of flowed with it, and pretty soon that, and then lyrics. Yeah, and I just had a thing. In fact, I just had to write lyrics for one of the tracks or songs off the demo called Take Heed that we couldn't make out what I was singing. Because remember, it's two mics in a room. Yeah. So you hear me going, whatever. What? Take heed. And I cut out like one word out of it here and there. So I just sat down and went, okay, if I said that then, what would I say? And it came out really good. But said, most of the time with lyrics with me, I feel the music, Yeah. And then it just inspires and they just start flowing.
That's fucking dope.
So, I've never, went to Dagny's and, okay, I'm going to sit down and write a song. That's not me.
Yeah, that's not your style.
Now, some people can.
Yeah.
Hey, write me a song about, whatever. I probably could if I tried, but I've never, out of all of, I don't even know how many. I got 60 plus songs through the DistroKid thing.
Yeah.
And there's another probably 50 or 60 over my whole life. Lost demos and, like this Dragster stuff. I forgot all about these songs. They sent me this stuff and I'm like, when did I write the when did we record? Well, remember that one time in the studio we set up? Oh, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, but it happened several times
now,
years ago.
Yeah, and now I'm remembering. Okay, and then I'll go back.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I do like that you do record it right away.
Yeah,
I like that. You know what I mean? Because some people just grab a pen and a pad, but you got little sounds that come into your head. Hey,
I can build like I had one the other night, and it's really catchy, and I record. I could build a song off that, the main lick. It's always that main thing, because once I start vibing with it, it's like, boom, okay, where would it go from here? Where would it naturally, and and I understand music theory. That's another, I encourage young students take music theory, music history, composition, because you get the bigger picture. You understand.
Yeah.
Music is A, B, C, D, F, G with some flats. That's everything that's ever been written, bro.
Yeah.
Think about it. A, B, C, D, F, G. That's the musical alphabet.
Yeah, the basics right there. Yeah,
it's you listen to the crazy composers like Stravinsky. He'd have a tenor in a choir and the baritone or whatever, and he'd have this guy singing an A and this guy singing an A flat, which is but it worked.
Yeah.
But that's just one example. I mean,
there's a lot of them out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way you put it though. That's really good advice for all the youngsters out there. You know what I mean?
Yes. Understand that it's all those. In fact, that one group, they got a video. I think they've done like talent shows, but they got 4 chords, and they're like, yeah, this song. Yeah, that other. How many songs have these 4 chords? And they
I've
do
seen
like
videos like that. Yeah,
20 songs that have they go
for the same 4 notes,
same 4 chords.
Yeah.
And they build it on that, so it just shows you that even though it's A, B, C, D, F, G with these flat, look what has come of it. How different artists and musicians.
Yeah, decades of music.
Decades of just now. I mean, I got a friend that's into like noise music. It's not really. They take grinders and all this weird. And they I don't know if it's technically music, it sounds, but
I've heard dog barkings.
Yeah,
I've heard all.
Someone was high.
Hey, some of them are pretty badass songs.
They smoke that doggy weed.
So okay, before we get to the music, there's a story out there that before Korn became Korn, you were in the studio with them. Is that what it was? You were roommates with a couple of them or something?
The drummer that wrote the song "Blind," which is one of their biggest hits, Dennis Shen, was a roommate of mine, and my band was Uncle Max. We had the same studio again at East 21st. Bunch of history, and those buildings are still there. But in that time frame. Sam's U Drive owned it, and they rented them out. You could get a studio like 800 square feet over there for like maybe $150 a month, 200 whatever. So there was like probably 5 or 6 bands in that complex. You walk in on a Tuesday night and sound like hell, bro, because you got metal coming out over here, you got screamo coming out over here, you got a country band, and they're all playing and at the same time. And it would be. It
created a whole other genre.
Yeah, it was like, what is that? What the heck? That's called Satan's track number 1.
It's a romantic track.
Yes, very romantic.
That's hilarious.
Yes,
man.
So I had Uncle Max, which formed after Tracks broke up. It was a cover band / original, and I had one of the units there, and I sub-rented it to my friends because we were there like 2 nights a week, 3 nights a week. So we'd have 3 different drum sets kind of set up in little PAs or whatever. So, this night it would be Uncle Max, and then the other night, one of the bands was Sex Art. And that's where Korn started, basically. Yeah. It was that sound they tuned down. All my friends, it was Ray and Ryan Shuck, who went on to do Supermodel, I think. He was in Edema for a little bit, and Dennis went on to produce other bands, played in a couple bands. Dave DeRue went on to be he's in Edema. And then Jonathan Davis, of course, went on to join LAPD, which became Korn about a year later. They moved to Huntington Beach, started doing the warehouse parties and all that, got picked up, and the rest is history.
The rest is history,
But they...
That's cool. You were surrounded by all these...
I've known Jonathan. I remember Jonathan coming in, and I'd be wrapping up mine, it'd just be me and him in there, and I'd jam something. He'd start singing in the way he did, and whatever. And
singing with his quilt on and all
yeah,
that.
he used to dress in like dragish kind of stuff, and real quiet. But I got along with them all, and we played shows together, and I always wished them the best. And it was kind of sad how everything went down. I always thought it'd have been cool if that original Six Heart lineup would have worked, but it just happened, and there was some bad blood with Dennis and that John. I don't know what happened, but anyway, they formed, and Sex Heart kind of disbanded. But it's still kind of a thing, I guess, because it
was good times. It was a good moment.
Well, and Korn, of course, went on to do huge things. I mean, they're like one of the biggest bands come out of Bakersfield. The Smoking Armadillos. You got Buck Owens. You know, going back even further. Merle Haggard. You got all that stuff. You got Traxter, B.O.B. You got Spike 1000. A lot of people probably don't even remember. Spike 1000 came out of here. They got signed. Orgy, or not Orgy, but Videodrome. Cradle of Thorns became Videodrome, and then of course Edema. And these are all like label status bands that went on to get on the radio and all this. So there's a lot of
it's a lot of good bands.
A lot of good bands. Always mad respect for them, and still talk to a few here and there. You know, they've all grown and changed. And in fact, I just saw Dave DeRue. What up, Dave?
Big shout out.
Yep, Big Dave. Drove by in his van. I was like, coming down on my bike. What up, bro? So,
that's fucking hella dope. Hey, how about we listen to some of the music? Listen to some tracks. Now, there is so much music out there, T.
Yeah, I know.
It was hard for me to narrow it down.
I know.
You know what I mean? Due to time. But all these tracks, what camera am I in? Junior, am I this one over here? What am I looking at? Right here? Yeah, all these tracks are available on all streaming platforms. Go ahead and check it out, man. There's some music videos out there on YouTube as well. You know what I mean? We're just going to touch upon a couple and stuff. I just picked, you know what I mean? Random. I try to get different sounds because there's so many genres that you do in there also.
And that's not even, you got to keep in mind, the Lion's Name Leo umbrella is stuff, because I got to a point where I was getting older and, retirement and all this. I'm like, I'd like to get... So I used Lion's Name Leo as the umbrella, but there's stuff in Lion's Name Leo that's from B.O.B.
Yeah.
One of my other bigger bands that played the Whiskey and the Roxy, and we had label and all that stuff. So, but they're good songs.
Oh, hell yeah, they are.
So I brought him over into Lion's Name Leo, or I kept the original recording. I didn't do any Traxter, Uncle Max, because I lost a lot of those recordings.
Oh, man.
Some of the stuff just didn't make it. Yeah. And then there was a lot of solo stuff, like a lot of people's favorite that I just did me. In fact, I filmed it right down at Mill Creek and on the roof complex, the parking roof.
Oh,
when you could get on the roof.
Yeah.
I filmed it. It's called A Lot Like You.
Oh, we're going to get to that one. We're getting to
that
one.
Bakersfield
Okay?
Music Now, A Lot Like You.
Hell yeah.
That again, that's the solo one. And then I did other ones just where I wrote all the drums. There's another album by Radio Assault Orchestra where I wrote, I play drums in my head, if that makes any sense. When I write a song, I can hear it. So I had a HR-16 Alesis. I used to say my drummer's Al, and they're like, Al? I go, yeah, Al Alesis. That motherfucker is tight as shit.
Yeah.
Shows up on time.
Never fails me.
Never drunk. Never bitches.
Oh, man.
Doesn't speed up and slow down.
And don't talk back.
And don't talk back. Yo, Al, kick a beat.
Yeah.
Every time.
That's hilarious. I'm going to throw some songs at you. Give me a little bit of story. The first one we got is an instrumental called R Matey.
Oh, wow.
This is dope.
Oh, my God.
This one highlights everybody.
You picked some off the wall. That's just... Mighty Mike. I got to give props to Mighty Mike. Wow. Arr! Doesn't it make, like Vikings going to war and a shit like...
Hell yeah.
That was Almighty Mike, my old bass player.
If this jam doesn't pump you up in the morning, man.
Man, I forgot all about this one, man. Wow. I hope Mighty Mike's... That's him.
Same showing off right here.
Yep. He wrote the main lick. I just helped him arrange it, and then I did all the solos.
Everybody gets a little piece of this track right
That
here.
one, yeah.
So what made you guys do an instrumental like this right here?
It was just something he had. He's like...
It doesn't need words.
Yeah, it didn't need words. It was like, dude, we played it live, and people were like, fuck
hell yeah. Imagine opening the show with this track.
Yeah,
right
great
here.
opening. Yes. It was so well played, though.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna let it ride for a little bit. This song is dope.
Yeah, I like it. Man, you picked some of the old school stuff, dude.
Hey, it's some good music, man.
It is. Just holding that note.
Hell yeah. Hey, I had this track played in my car full blast.
Oh my God.
Oh man, you can rock out to this track right here. Oh man, this is dope as fuck right here.
Yes.
So the next one I got over here is Beat It Senseless, okay? So on this one right here, you mentioned corporate companies, 9/11 attacks, politicians, conspiracies.
Oh yeah.
And you got lyrics in, and if there is a place for them, it's got to be in hell. That's
Yes.
one of the lyrics.
Yep. And this one's the one that I did all the drums. Like I was telling you, I wrote it on Al, Lisa's.
I like this right here. What inspired this song right here?
Well, oh man.
You talk about a lot of things
Yeah.
here. Yeah. All these conspiracies that are going on.
Yeah.
The man, all types of stuff.
It's
Damn. God, this is a dope ass song
that one
right here,
was
man.
again. I'm a political scientist too. I took political science, and you know, of course, I was alive 9/11 morning, and I'm not gonna get way into that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
All I can say is about that is every time someone brings it up, I'm like, yeah, I just want to know who planted the bombs in the building and why did they fall at gravity speed.
That's it. That's
I'm
all you
just
want to know.
I'm gonna leave
You
it at
and
that.
everybody fucking else.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, don't tell me I'm a conspiracy theorist, bro.
Yeah, tell them how it is. shit.
Everybody saw it. And don't the 9/11 Commission's report was toilet paper. Come on.
Yeah, it's a bunch
And then I
it's a
could
bunch
go
of
on.
shit.
Yeah. You know.
And you were able to make a dope ass song out of this.
Yeah,
You know?
and
and you got the message across.
Yes,
and stuff.
I've always watched the government and I've studied. Oh man, they lie a lot. So too
Hell
much.
yeah.
And we all know that.
That's not news. Yeah, we all
Right,
know that
right.
shit. The next track I got over here is Bounce the Trip. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, once that beat kicks in.
Y'all on that groove, ball to dance. Feel the spell in that
That's Satan on the low vocal.
Here it comes. Here it comes.
No, I'm kidding. Another fun one.
Hell yeah. You got like some Lenny Kravitz fucking.
Sounded like
Really
Lenny.
right there, yeah.
Some little Lenny Kravitz,
A little bit
yeah.
of that.
I love it well again. Get the ship and take a spin. I play the game that's rigged to win. Is it just as fun when you know what's banned?
What can you tell me about this track, man? Do you remember this one?
That's made of light.
I wrote it at Rob's, my old bass player's house
Nice.
in Lions named Leo, but we never did it as a band. It
Really?
didn't make it to because we had so many other songs we were
Yeah,
gigging,
yeah.
and so I just had it. I
Yeah.
recorded it. I had me and Sam. Sam played drums on it, but I did all the bass and vocal, everything else.
Oh, that's dope. Well put song right here.
If it's the end, let's still your gun on. We got more time and now it's it. Flip the past, learn from that shit. Sweat seeps out of every bar. Life's a trip, goes to just a tour. Life's a trip, goes to just a
Life's a trip because it's just a tour, man. Bill
Love
Hicks,
that.
bro. It's just
Love
a ride. It's just a ride.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I love this breakdown. Right
Yeah.
Right here.
There it goes.
Oh, sweet. Bring it down. You hear the little backup lead?
Yeah, yeah.
Over the main one.
Yeah.
Sam, I love you, bro. You
Got
did a
down.
killer job on the drums.
Hell yeah. That's one of the things that I tell people. I listen to this music on Apple Music because you got that spatial sound, right?
Right.
It breaks down all the music, the guitar, from the fucking bass, from the
Really? It
drums.
sounds good on it?
Yeah,
when
it's
it
not
comes
just
out?
left, right. Now you got a third speaker in the back now.
Wow, I
Dude,
see. Yeah.
It is awesome, especially with music like this.
Yeah.
I had a blast listening to this.
It's so funny that all these songs that you picked were none that I would expect you to pick, but I love it, dude. Because
Yeah, this is dope, man. We're
it's-
rocking out over here.
it's because it's a different perspective. Again,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
hearing it from someone that didn't know anything about it. You just come in, you're like, oh, I like that one. I'm like, really? All right. But now that I'm hearing them again, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, hell
you
yeah.
know,
This is a dope ass
it makes me want to go get another band together. And do it. But,
Let me know, man. I'm down.
all right. Because I got a lot of music. I do
Hell
have a
yeah.
lot of music.
I love that. I love that. The next one we got is Kill Me Deep,
Ooh.
okay? Goes in heavy.
Mr. Speaker,
That's Ron Paul.
Ah.
the question, why are the American people so angry?
Why are we so angry?
Hey, the guitar shredding on this track,
Yeah.
my goodness.
That's Al Isis on drums. And guest vocalist is Mike Martin, good friend of mine.
You can't keep it down, close the door and walk away. Too much truth for you to bear. All is seen as easy. All the time that scream show, British burning history. Kill me deep, don't wanna walk away. Give me death or let me be. I'm feeling free.
Hell yeah.
Inside of me, I will go on. I'm feeling free. Inside of me, I will go on.
There you go. Oh, man. Hey, every song, man. Every song, man. That shit is dope.
That's crazy.
Hell
You brought
yeah.
that one up. That one was in a band called. We started out as the T. Martin Project. I had a bunch of music again, and I had vocals written that were hard for me to sing, basically, because I'm more of a baritone. Mike, my friend, was in another band. I heard him sing backups. He never really sang lead, and I go, dude, you got a good voice.
Good,
Like, you
strong
can
voice, yeah.
Come in, and he was kind of nervous. Like, I go, no, just sing this, but do it an octave up, and just give it some balls.
Hell yeah.
And we did, that's one of them, but we did a whole collection under Radio. I always love this band name, Radio Assault Orchestra.
Oh, all right, all right.
Yeah, RAO. I just love that name. And we did a whole collection. We had a full band at one time, 6 or 7 piece, I think, 2 or 3 guitars. And we did our thing, and then, band stuff happened. One guy moved away. But the album, that was one of the big tracks, and that went out worldwide, also on Music X-Ray, well, a few years ago. And I had people on Skype, Skype is
Yeah, yeah.
thing, and I had friends on there, and
video
guys,
chatting and
people
stuff.
were writing me from like Australia, Canada.
dope.
Fuck, dude, I've had this song on my fucking playlist like for a month. It just pumps me, man.
Hell
It's
yeah.
fucking- and that Ron Paul, so that because Ron Paul was one of my great. I just love that man.
Hell yeah. That's what's
Yeah,
up right
he
there.
loves
That's dope.
America. He loves America.
That's dope. Let's talk about, one of my favorite songs, Party Tonight. That's the one that we came in from, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So at Party Tonight, we talk about leaving all your worries and cares aside, man.
Yeah.
Let's just party, celebrate life. You know
That's
what I mean?
right. That's right.
Even the demo, like I said, fucking dope.
Yeah,
like the
I
demo
would
too.
love to remake this,
Oh,
like
man.
in today's
Oh, yeah.
technology.
I would like to hear this live, bro.
Yes, yeah. We played it live.
Yeah,
we used to
yeah.
play it live here and there.
Hell yeah.
But Joe was still with us. Joe was a great singer, a veteran in the Iraq War, sergeant, and he sang really well and played trumpet.
On this track right here.
Yeah.
This is the track you gotta bump at full blast, full volume, man. This is dope right here. Love this one, man.
I can see that in front of about 20,000 people. And
Oh, bro. Goodness, man. This is dope.
I love the solo.
Yeah.
It's got a signature solo. Just tasty, melodic. I love it. And right here.
The breakdown. God damn, man. This is dope right here. Yeah, we're going to have a party over
Yes,
here, too.
yeah. God, you're
again-
bringing back memories, bro. I
Man.
haven't listened to that song in like 10 years probably.
Man, once again, look for the demo, too. The demo, you know, T,
Yeah.
you sing on that one. My
I
goodness.
think so, yeah.
That one is fucking dope, too. It's
And
out
we did,
there.
before I met Joe, I had a cover band called Jukebox, and I had two female singers,
Oh, nice. All
a
right.
blonde and brunette, Jess and Valerie Tink. And we did that, but I did it in a different key, and the girls sang it together. Oh, dude, it
It's
was.
sounding gnarly. Then.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
I remember we played the Padre up here on the patio one time.
Oh, man.
They were having bands up there, right?
Yeah.
So Jukebox get together, we get up there and set up. And I didn't know how the gig was going to go. It's like, oh, this is kind of different, you know?
It's different. It's open, yeah.
Right. So, dude, by the second song of our set, people are coming up the fucking elevator. The bar is packed.
Hell
They're
yeah.
hanging off the sides of the. They couldn't get any more people up there, dude.
Oh, that's dope. That's a party right
Yeah,
there.
it by the second and third song, and we were just doing like we did originals and covers.
yeah, yeah.
We did like Love Shack with the two girls.
Oh, B-52s,
And my
yeah.
drummer Sam did the Fred part, you know. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
find us in the bay. But we had two girl singers, you know.
That's
so
dope,
we
man.
killed Love Shack, dude. People were
Hell
like,
yeah.
no way. And
Hell yeah.
I made it, you know, I took advantage of having two female
Yeah.
good singers.
Hey, that works.
And they harmonized, and then one played keyboards, little simple keyboard stuff, and you know, tambourine and
Hell
whatever.
yeah.
Anyway, it was great.
I like that. The next track I got over here is Big Stage, okay?
yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
with Big Stage, man, I love the message on this song right
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
You really put in a good message and stuff.
And that, by the way, that's all filmed in Bakersfield. You see
Yeah,
the video?
yeah.
All
Video's
local.
out there, yeah.
And it was recorded right down here on East 21st and Union.
Yeah, I like that. You talk about, you know, taking chances, putting your talent out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The world is your stage.
That's it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that,
Go
man.
set up your booth, man. That one line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
I like to inspire other people, man.
I like that. Check out the videos on YouTube and
Yes.
stuff.
Jason from Epix Productions helped me do the video. Again, all done here in Bakersfield.
Hell yeah. How did you guys come out with this? How did you guys come out with this track right here with the lyrics and stuff?
That's the one I was telling you earlier about. Is just stuck in my head. That bass
Yeah,
lick.
yeah, yeah.
Bum,
That's what I was
ba-da-da-da-dum. I built it all off that.
Hell yeah.
And then these words. It's all a big stage, so go set up your booth.
Man, powerful message right there, man. Very inspiring.
What you really want to do is what is it. Out of the pan, into the fire, baby. Into the fire. Wait for this one part with
The horns.
the horn and then the breakdown when it does that booth. So tasty. I love that.
Yeah.
Joe did a great job, man.
Oh yeah.
But imagine that with the big lineup. I had 4 horns doing that.
Yeah. Powerful, then. Huh?
Oh.
This really does sound good, though. You know.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on this.
Hell yeah.
Oh, here's the breakdown coming up. And the video, it's like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this song, man. This song is fucking hella dope right here, man. So the next song I got over here is Say.
You know, real quick,
Oh,
before
yeah,
you
go
get into
ahead,
Say,
yeah.
I was talking to a label when all this was going on, right?
All
And
right.
producer, manager guy, and so they talking to me about recording, you know, when blah blah blah, and I go, yeah, well, and I think they had listened to Big Stage and Say. These are ones that I spent more time. You can hear the production quality.
Yeah,
compared to like the Party Night, because like I said, those were just kind of quick demos. I mean, they're good, but
Yeah, they're good.
These I really focused on and got to kick everything just right, and you know, and then Jason up with the video, and I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. So where are we gonna re-record? Like, I got these songs, and the guy goes, "Are you insane? What do you mean re-record?" He goes, "Where didn't you go to like L.A. or something to record Big Stage?" I go, "No." Freaking studio in a warehouse. Logic Bro 8, but I took my time.
You took your time,
I
yeah.
took my time, and I knew, and I had A-B to other songs, and kind of, okay, let's gather that. And they could not believe that I recorded it.
My goodness.
Yeah,
man.
they were tripping. Say and Big Stage.
Yeah, both very good
Yeah,
tracks.
and they
stuff.
were just like, okay, well, no, we're not touching those tracks, bro.
Yeah, you
Leave
didn't need to do anything.
Didn't
else.
need to.
Hey, sometimes overdoing it ruins a song
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So hey, you mentioned Say. Let's talk Say right here and stuff, which is another really good track and stuff. This one I hear, you know, you're talking about walking away from a negative person, walking away, finally feeling good with your head held high.
Yep.
Man, I love that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. There's a video out there, man. Go out there and check it out,
Yeah,
man.
it was a lot of fun. A
Hell
lot
yeah.
of fun.
What can you tell me about Say?
Oh man. Say what? No, it was a lot of fun to write. Just like another one that just came to me, and we had a warehouse at the time, the same complex that I had access to. So we spent like 3 weeks painting that back wall in the video, and having a little herb at night, you know, just
A little bit.
having fun. Set up the room and had the lighting and everything. Then
Hell yeah.
Jason from Epics came in, helped film it and everything. Invited a few friends to come in, kind of walk by us while we were doing it. And it was that current lineup of lines, same Leo. And well, the words kind of speak for themselves.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
love it, man.
Yeah.
Once again, there's a video out there. Check it out on YouTube,
Yeah,
man.
just
Very
go-
nice song.
YouTube, just lions named Leo and Say. It should pop right
There
up.
you go.
Same with Big Stage. Walking with my head held high. Walk with that head held high. I say goodbye. Saying goodbye to all the drama, all the egg now.
Hell yeah.
I'm good.
Hell yeah.
Goodbye.
I love the way your voice sounds in this
Thank
track,
you,
man.
thank
You know what I
you.
mean? Hell yeah.
I had to get used to my voice, like we talked about. But don't include me. Don't include me in your insanity.
Yeah, you keep that over there, man.
Yeah, over there. What you're looking for.
This is a feel-good track right here.
Know the scar. I'm feeling like a man again. One of my old singers, she thought I was saying "feel like a mannequin." Why do you
Why do you want to feel like that?
Yeah, why do you say "feel like a mannequin"? I go, I'm not, but that's funny as fuck.
Yeah, man. We'll let it ride.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is such a fun track, man. You know, it's one of many and stuff. So this one, okay, I wanted to add one of the cover songs, okay?
Okay.
So the next one we got over here is Hurt. Okay?
Oh, man.
Which is already a famous song already.
Oh, dude, this
Kind of
one
made it your way.
This
featuring
one really comes from my heart in so many levels. Spent a lot of time on it. I almost don't want to talk during it. But I spent a lot of time in the press. I'm a huge Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails fan,
Yeah, hell yeah.
and a huge Johnny Cash fan.
Man.
And I've heard both their versions.
Both really good versions.
Yeah, but they're very different.
Yeah.
Trent's more dark with the little augmented chord kind of thing he does, but then Johnny's more just straightforward A minor C kind of simple. So
Right
I thought
before he
about
passed,
it.
too.
Yep, right before he passed.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that video?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
That's deep.
I've always liked the song, and I had access to the studio, keyboards, everything, and the drum. I wrote all the drums. So I really thought this one through and planned it because I want to capture the best of both the artists.
Oh, yeah.
So I kind of kept the chord simple, but if you notice in the down, I had that little drop note that Trent does that Johnny didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was working with a rapper named Cisco at the time.
Yeah, shout out Cisco. He
Cisco,
really nailed
amazing.
it on this track, yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I'm working on this tribute, and I really want to make this song super special. I'm really focused on. In fact, I've got multiple feedback from fans. They're like, dude,
Good track.
this song is so happy. You did such an amazing. There's a lot of versions of it,
Yeah, yeah.
but this was just a whole nother approach.
yeah, this one stands out.
You know, even that little. Here it is. Right here. Yeah. Smooth.
Hell yeah.
Cisco. So he brought his
Yeah.
daughter over when we were recording it, and
Yeah.
she was in the other room, and he had, honey, you write the lyrics down so he can put them in the thing. So she sat there and like, 9-year-old
that's
is
cute,
so
man.
sweet. She's all right, daddy. And I wrote, I got it all written down, and then
Nice.
and then coming up here in a second. Now right here, kind of the next phase of the song, but this next chorus, I wanted to get it more heart-wrenching and deep. And if you listen close, there's the low, heavy vocal, and then I did another voice on top that's an octave, kind of like screaming, just really
nice.
like, you'll hear it.
Yeah, it's coming.
It gets pretty intense.
Yeah, you
The
made
little-
it your own.
Little keyboard, little violin.
True.
And you are someone else. Nice, the harmonies. And then a breakdown. This is so. You hear it?
Hell
The high
yeah,
and the
yeah.
low, yeah. And the violin section. Imagine that with like a 20-piece
Oh,
orchestra,
man.
bro.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
like,
that's deep right there. Yeah.
Have a big old picture of Johnny and Trent.
Oh,
both.
man, that'd be
Ooh.
dope. Pain homage right there.
Kept the drums really
Man,
simple.
I like that, yeah.
Kept the drums just in the pocket.
Man, I love this. I love that you made it your own. You made it your own
Yes.
style and stuff, and still paying tribute to
Absolutely.
the original and
Yeah.
stuff.
I always said when I had a cover band, and I still stand by this, and I give advice to young cover bands. If you're gonna do a cover, do it as good as the artist or better.
Yeah.
Do your own twist on it. Make
Yeah.
it your own.
Yep.
You know, and if it's too hard, don't do it then. Wait till you get better and you can, but you know, just do it justice.
I like that.
You know what I mean? And
Yes,
you'll
sir.
and like I said, all the jukebox, all those cover, we applied that rule. Like we did the earlier song I said Love Shack, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's an involved song.
Yeah.
It really goes through a lot of phases and different points.
Yeah,
and,
it does.
but we had the talent to do it, and we had the two girls. And I'd have people coming up afterward, like the show, and just going, dude, I had never thought I would ever hear like you guys kill those songs that the
yeah.
way we attacked them. Like that was my rule, and we get into some covers and go, I work on them for about a half hour. Go, no, not feeling it, man. It's
Yeah.
It's just even our own version of it's just not. I mean, there's thousands of cover songs, bro.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just go to the greatest hits of whatever year. And
a lot of them out
yeah,
there.
a lot of them.
But this one felt right then.
It just felt right.
Hell yeah, that's what I like.
Yeah.
All right, T. So in doing my research, okay, so I'm finding music. I'm trying to find music that sounds different. You have a lot.
Yeah.
I found this one track. Okay, so this one is called "A Lot Like You."
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me about this beautiful track. I'm gonna play it in the background while you tell me.
Sure. It was a weird time in my life. The band was shifting, and a lot of stuff's going on. But this lick again came to me. That just a simple little grab my acoustic guitar, and I kind of okay, that's cool. And at the time, I had a little amp and a little camera, and So I went in and I did all the drums. I recorded everything. Just you can hear the drums, real simple, the shaker, and that's just 2 rhythm guitars. There's no bass, there's no anything. And then I did the dual vocal, real simple. And then the high, both low,
you hear it, yeah.
So I had it all done. I got it done, and I was like, ooh, wow. So I always recorded, and I left it for a day or 2, and then I came back with fresh ears. And then it just hit me. I looked over, I had a bike trailer, I had my little amp, and my camera. I'm like, I think there's power at Mill Creek Park. So I zipped over there, took my little thing, and I set up a camera, and I plugged in, and I just did, lip sync, play with it.
Yeah.
And then I jammed downtown, and I went up on the roof and everything. And it was funny, because in the video, you see these skateboarders.
Oh, yeah.
And people are like, was that supposed to be there? Like, did you? I go, well, not really, but...
You look surprised, yeah.
I was, I planned it, but it wasn't planned. Like, I got there, and I was filming, and I was just at me, and they had power there, too, so I was like, okay, cool. And they were over there skating, and I'm like, hey, guys, come here. When I'm doing this at a certain time, you come up around me, and, like, I'll act like so I knew they were there, but I acted like I did,
Yeah, it looks genuine.
Yeah,
I like
so
that.
we were like that, and
like
they come
that.
up, and they shoot me, and I go, oh, shit, but it was all spontaneous, and
Hell yeah.
then I went and filmed down on the street a little bit, and got it out there.
I like that. It looks like a fun video.
It was very fun, and it was all, like, spontaneous. It just, I'm gonna go do that. Okay, let's do that, and boom, bam, bam, bam,
Came
bam.
out good.
And it was
Came out
done.
really good. Tell me about the lyrics over here, man. A lot like you, man.
Well, basically, it kind of revolves around the fact that we, I tell people in spiritual practice and deeper thoughts, that when you really break it down, we're all one, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
There's no need for war. There's no. It's just. I'm a lot like you, man.
Yeah.
You got to get up. You got to eat. You got children. We think about if you really bring human species together. I think we have so much more in common that we should highlight and then we should focus on, instead of that's my land. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
How about not?
Yeah.
How about there's plenty of land.
Yeah.
There's plenty of resources. Anyway, in a nutshell.
I love that message. I really do.
Yeah.
It is a really good song, man. By
Thank
the way,
you.
I love the video. I really enjoyed it and stuff. Before we leave them with the last song, okay? Here's another party song, man. The other one that I have over
What
here.
is it? I'm curious now. Like
That one is gonna be "Live Me Life."
Oh,
And that's a
Live Me
demo,
Life.
man. That's a demo,
Another
but
demo.
damn, that's another one that hits.
Yes,
T, let them know where we can find you at on social media, man. Plug the YouTube channel away as well.
well, the one that has the a lot of the files is Bakersfield Music Now, and
Yeah.
that's a channel. And then I use Trace Sactana, but I don't really upload to it, so it's like the best one. Anything you want to know or more, you can pretty much put in Lion's Name Leo on YouTube, and a lot of the playlists will come up. But you can email me at TheTrace, TEETHETRACE @gmail.com. TheTrace, spelled just like that. And then my Facebook is T, and then Tafkatlas, which stands for the artist formerly known as the letter after S, which is a joke. But it's TEE, and then Tafkatlas, TAFKATLAS, Tafkatlas.
Hell yeah, you make it sound easy, man.
I know, I'm trying to slow it down, because I remember the last time I was watching your show, and the guy goes, yeah, hit me up on beep-a-dee-boo-boo-boo-boo, and I was like, wait, what'd he say?
You lost me already.
And I'm fucking, 2 bong rips into something going, I gotta rewind that.
Hell yeah.
But it's, T Tafkatlas on Facebook is the best, and my email, TEETAFKATLAS Tafkatlas. It stands for the artist formerly known as the letter after S. And then my email, TheTrace, TheTheTrace at gmail.com. Yeah.
You make it sound easy. You already memorized that thing already.
I got it there.
So tell me a little bit about Live Me Life.
Live My Life
man,
is
before we
just,
premiere.
well, you know, I think for me, it was a lot of people coming at me from different angles, you know, and religions and different things. Oh, you ought to be this way. Or my brother got really into religion. He was always trying to tell me how to live my life. You know, it's like,
Just leave me alone, man.
yeah,
Let me do me.
I'm doing fine, bro. I'm having a blast, and, you know. So it's kind of off that.
I love that,
you know?
man. Hell yeah.
And it was a fun song. I don't know if I don't think we ever played this one live. Actually, I think
man.
Yeah, I think I just tracked it. And Mighty Mike was in the band. He goes, man, I really like that song. And then
Hell yeah.
a bunch of stuff changed and moved,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. And it just, I don't think it ever got performed
Oh
live.
my goodness, that would have been the perfect closer right
Yeah,
there, man.
yeah. Maybe it
And
will
I
come
like
back.
that. Yeah,
Maybe, you know.
I hope.
I
At least
don't
play
know.
it once. At least play it once for me, man. So I can
Once,
go there.
yes. Maybe I can talk to guys at Trackster doing it, you know.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
say
yeah.
a new group.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey,
See-
I am down, by the way, any band out there, you can cover my songs. I encourage.
Oh, wow.
I have no problem with copyrights.
Y'all have plenty to choose
Yeah,
from.
I mean, if you like a song and you want to bring it to your band, if you're a cover band doing originals or original, and man, let's do that one live. You have my full blessing, bro.
Oh,
Full
man,
blessing.
that's dope right there. I like that.
Just give me a band T-shirt and buy me some bud.
There you go, man. See, we barely touched
I
the
know.
surface of the catalog.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to come back for part 2?
Sure.
There's so much more to cover, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, I love these tracks. And what better way to end this episode, man, with this dope-ass track right here, Live Me Life, man.
Live me life.
Hell yeah. Thank you very much,
No
T, for
problem,
coming
man.
over here, man. And we're going to
Much
leave you with
love.
that track right now.